All right. So, hi, how's everybody doing? I wanted to get on here and simply update what's been going on since COVID, I guess. The last videos I made were pretty much about COVID. I'm seeing if I could keep some music on while I talk. Hold on. Anyway, so COVID was pretty crazy. It took a lot of, I was working at a gym, still working at the gym, but basically, the first part was maddening, really. All right, let me see. So let me see. Those of you that want to know the update, you'll wait for me to play this music. Anybody else, I doubt you give a shit. Anyway, hold on. Just want to hear the music. Well, update. So I was working at the gym since May, and I was very busy helping to manage the situation there. Really being a big part of developing the new personal training team and everything there. So, like I said, I'm really wanting this music to work with this. So, give me one second. I'm in tweaking with this new mic I got, which is part of the announcement. Hold on. Testing, testing. I don't like the way it sounds like that. I mean, it sounds okay, I guess. Yeah, gives me something to work with. So, since May or June 15th, so it's been about over a year now. COVID was really tough on me there at the gym. I didn't have much time to make videos. I think that's why I've only made one or a few attempts to get on here and create videos because the gym just had me freaking just working there, developing that, the team, the clientele, and stuff like that. So that's what's been up since June. And, the hardest part of COVID was the July time. You're talking about you're talking about wearing masks, and the, there's such little traffic. There's such little traffic at the gym, and we're trying to stay in business, right? So June and July were just crazy, crazy months, and I think only by the grace of God that I get through those months. I mean, real talk. I think if those of us that went through it and worked through COVID, I don't know anyone that didn't feel COVID's impact emotionally. I mean, it's been pretty traumatic to say the least. Like, really, I mean, I think we bottle up a lot of that, but if we're honest with ourselves, I mean, we've been wearing masks for over a year now, and most of us have taken them off. Most places have taken them off, but there's still some places that wear them. Right? We wear them as while we're on working, still at the gym. I mean, so I remember the first portion of COVID was very isolating. I mean, I was just pretty much by myself and just hanging in there by like eating and trying to work out a little bit. Uh, the first 2 months of quarantine were very much monotonous. I did get some stuff done, some studying done. I think we're going to see the fruit of that studying in my work the rest of this year now that I've had some sort of groundingness to help. There was like a time where I didn't feel very grounded, at least to think other than just working out, go to work, come home, rest, and do it again. Like I pretty much was burnt out just doing that. Um, I came out of quarantine a little, a little overweight. Uh, not the biggest I've ever been in my life, just bigger. And since quarantine, I'd say I probably dropped a good 15 to 20 pounds or something like that. You know, and I actually put on some muscle. So I probably put on, I don't know, let's just say 5 pounds of muscle if after quarantine. So in a year, at least five, maybe more, but I'm going to just go ahead. Feels like five. Um, so that's a blessing. And let's see. So yeah, and then July, August, September, those were better parts of the year in 2020, August, September, when the cases went down and people were still working, but COVID was pretty much still very much in the conversations. daily. So August, September. By November, December, I mean, I think we were just sort of happy to get through the year and stuff like that. So that's what it felt like. Some real key moments. I mean, 2019 came, and some of you that kept up with my channel may have noticed, all that stuff that I was talking about, all of the, just my father passed away, supplement company named Advocare that I was planning to do really well with for the rest of my life, you could say. It didn't go through that way. And those are kind of things that humble you, and you just learn really, really deep lessons for that kind of humility. I mean, from both of those, my father, Advocare, family member got in trouble with a law that was pretty painful. I mean, 2019 was just a crazy year, and then to be followed up by another crazy year, I'm really looking forward to some sanity. Like sanity's, I could go for sanity for the next 50 years and that'd be fine, man. Like a little sanity can go a long way for me right now. So let's just say by January, February, March, Texas opens up in March. It's been about 3 months or so that Texas has opened up. I mean, that's great, right? And, the last few months have been very productive as well. And just doing so much self-improvement, so much self-expansion that it's really opened up the door for me to get back into this channel. Like I feel the need for this channel again. I feel it again. For a while, I didn't feel it. I didn't have anything to say. It had all been said. I think the energy was done. And I think that just me getting on here and admitting that, yes, I probably could have forced it. Yes, I could have forced it, but I didn't see the vision for it anymore. Though coming on here, like the vision for coming on here, it lost its zeal. And part of it was just I felt there was not a huge response to the channel and the amount of work I put into it. Like there wasn't any monetization. And on some level, that's a brag to a degree, because that was the original intent, not to monetize the videos directly, but to build a brand that was very authentic. And it's not to say that adding commercials makes you unauthentic. Maybe that was an outdated model I was going for. Maybe monetizing the videos should be what I do going forward, right? What I'm trying to say is it's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is the model I set out to do was one of just, I wanted the viewer yourself to get value from the video so much for free that you would consider buying a supplement or something like a course just based on the value you would get for free. That the course I would sell would definitely deliver even more, right? So that was the concept. And I think that was a good, and it still is a good concept. I might still keep that concept. It's not saying I'm going to start advertising on the channel or anything. That's not a conclusion I'm changing right now. What I'm saying is that I didn't, and I feel because there was no monetization coming in from this activity and how much value I was putting out, it was difficult to continue that model. Like yes, the passion was there, but the passion also was going through. I was going through so much internal battles. Like my father passed away in business, that it was like I needed to at least take care of my finances to a degree that I knew if I do this, I could change the financial course, not be, in debt every month or something. So, that's a long way about to put it that it was too expensive to keep doing the channel, I guess. Like it got to where, because I wasn't monetizing, it was too expensive to do the channel. But now, putting things together as an artist, because that's what artists do, I could see how it's a great thing I did. And I'm very grateful for the 386, I think I saw it today, 386 subscribers that do engage with the content, with, friends with benefits or when to walk away, or, I think back when I made that video and the state of my mind, it's kind of funny. Like right now, I might consider friends with benefits in situation like that would be more of something I might consider now. When I made that video, for example, I was in a position of just wanting to find the one, right? Like I wanted to find, like, put all the games away and just find the one. And maybe she's out there, you know, she might be out there. Uh, I guess I've looked, and, at some point, you decide to go ahead and be happy with or without the one. And at some point, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's sane. Some people could call that savage or cold, or, there's so many different opinions on what that is. But I just feel that I've explained, if you see some of my videos on going into is monogamy dead or stuff like that, those are things that I've explored already. So if you care to know, I would go watch the video, is monogamy dead? I've asked that question in 2019. And I was right to ask it. I think that it's still a valid question. I mean, we saw people like Will Smith get cheated on by his wife with the son of her, the friend of her son. And I think that when we see that as people, right, you get to this point where, like, it's very difficult to believe in monogamy or relationships that are going to last long term when these people of, like, significant status, significant value, and international influence, names, they're having trouble sticking together. So it's difficult to believe that, it's out there if it's so elusive. I mean, my grandma and grandpa from my mom's side, they're from the mountains. They live in the mountains in Mexico, and they're still together. They're old. I mean, we don't talk to them too much because it's not like we can Skype them or FaceTime them, or it's just not like that. They just live in a very secluded part of the world, and in that seclusion, I think it's allowed them to stay together and, raise a family, they had 10 kids, 10 kids. I mean, that's beautiful. It's a beautiful, I love that. That's fucking awesome. He has a ranch, and, like, they just live life. They just work the ranch, live off the corn they harvest. And just like anything, like, they have a business, you could say. They sell corn, trade corn. I mean, when I went to visit them, this is so long ago. This is like, it's going on 20 years. My God, where's the time gone? 20 years, I think, or let's say it's 17 years ago, right? I remember going down to the lake, down to the river. It was a river, and we got water for the day, fresh water. I mean, that's such a beautiful story onto itself. Like, it's so romantic. It's like I remember the process being beautiful. I know that I was 13, 14 years old, but, I look back at that and I think to myself, wow, what a beautiful thing to. And I remember my mind would, just in the exploration, your mind's walking down a rocky path into the river, down, trying not to trip or making sure you don't lose your balance. And you're out in the middle of nowhere, like in it's technically Mexico, but it's like, what is it? Not Mexico City, just a part of I guess, South America, I guess. And I guess that's what it would be. And, you just, like, just being part of that process, the way it opens your mind. Again, I mean, look, it doesn't mean I don't get bottled water or the beauty of bottled water or whatever the fuck. Like I told, I'm as modern as you, probably, maybe more, maybe more. But that's not the point. The point is that, I can appreciate this beauty of like simplicity. And for all of the technology we have, you have these millionaires cheating on each other, sleeping. It's just, maybe poor people have it too, though. I mean, maybe poorness doesn't remove that. Maybe it also exacerbates that. So are we ever safe of, these carnal evils, these carnal disgraces towards our family or our pride, our dignity? Are we ever safe of those? Can we reach a social class? I mean, personally, I think at our core, I think that's what we're trying to prevent is a disgrace to our name. Otherwise, I mean, what would it matter if we ended up like losers, right? Or somebody that we didn't want to become. There is this pain associated with failure, with being less than, being disgraced. And sure, we can overcome it, and there's ego and the soul, and it overcomes all. But for the most part, there's a large collective average of behaviors and successes that we look to stick to through life. We look to stick through this collective average wins, whether it's brushing your teeth every day, whether it's showing up to work every day and making a little progress. Like, these are certain wins that we do in order not to be the lowest common denominator. That's what we do as a society, as a people. But those are a little bit of announcements that I have to give. I am dieting pretty hard recently, like weighing food and stuff like that. So I've dropped about a good, I don't know when would it, I think I've lost like 10 pounds or so or more. But let's just say, I'll just even round it down to 7 pounds of fat. That's fine. But yeah, look, stay tuned for the podcast. I'm going to be releasing. Stay tuned for that. I'm excited as to where that's headed. And I'm excited to get back on here on my new mic. I'm excited for a lot of stuff. Peace. I'll see you next time.